TikTok Shop killing your e-commerce margins? If your sales are skyrocketing, but your bank account is staying suspiciously flat, you are not alone.
Meet Jordan West, the mastermind behind Social Commerce Club and the go-to expert in scaling e-commerce brands. Founder of Social Commerce Club, host of Secrets to Scaling Your E-commerce Brand, e-commerce growth hacker, and a social commerce pioneer. If you're ready to scale your brand, drive real results, and harness the power of social commerce, Jordan West is your guy. Follow him now and take your e-commerce game to the next level.
You might be doing 100K, 500K, or even $1 million in GMV on TikTok Shop. But when you sit down and run the numbers, there is nothing left. You're technically crushing it on paper, but realistically, you're barely scraping by. And that's a problem with GMV alone. Quick refresher, GMV stands for gross merchandise volume, and it's the total value of sales that you are making before any of the real costs hit. It's a sexy number, but it's also a very dangerous one if you do not know what is underneath it. And here's the wild part. You are not alone in this margin squeeze. This isn't a problem. It's a TikTok Shop seller problem. So let me explain. TikTok Shop is growing like crazy. In 2024, it pulled in $33.2 billion in global GMV. And the US alone did $9 billion. And Black Friday brought in $100 million in one single day. But as GMV goes up, margins are quietly slipping through the cracks. And one reason why, right? AOV is trending down. In 24 of 27 categories, the average order value dropped more than 14%. And I'm getting all of this data from Calidata, just so you guys understand. That means that volume is increasing, but the value of each order is shrinking. And so while it feels like you're making more money, you're actually keeping less money. And it gets even more complicated when you start digging into who's helping drive those sales. First up, let's talk about TikTok creators and influencers. Creators are the engine of TikTok Shop, with 63% of Americans under 60 following influencer or creator recommendations. They're the reason why many of your products are getting seen and sold. But they're also one of the biggest reasons that margins just vanish. So here's what most sellers miss. Creator commissions are set in the affiliate center, and they can quietly eat up 10 to 30%, maybe even more. Sometimes we'll offer even more of that at the beginning. Lots of the smaller creators are going to ask for somewhere between 10 and 15%. Mid-tier creators, somewhere between 15 and 25%. The top performing ones, though, they want like 40%. And if you don't cap those commissions per product, some creators are going to take your listing and it's going to be absolutely unsustainable for you. And that's when everything starts breaking. So if you're wondering where all of your money is going, this is a big piece of the puzzle, but it doesn't just stop there. Let's shift over to fulfillment, because how you get your product to customers is another major margin lever. So you've got two paths. One is fulfilled by TikTok. So TikTok stores, ships, and handles returns for you. You pay around $2 to $4 per unit shipped in the US. The pros, you get 1-day delivery generally. It's like a Prime-like sort of experience, and they deal with all the returns. The cons, there's inbound shipping costs, and only certain SKUs are going to be actually eligible for that. Then you've got self-fulfilled, right? You store and ship everything yourself. This gives you way more control, but it comes with risks like late shipment penalties and the headache of handling returns manual. Whichever route you go, fulfillment costs can stack up, especially when you are working with lower AOV products. Again, this is the big thing I'm trying to get across today, is that lower AOV products are going to kill you. Fulfillment is just the start. So let's talk about the fees that you can't avoid. Every single time that you take a sale, TikTok is going to take their cut. So we've already mentioned this in platform commission, anywhere between 2 and 8%. We're seeing some around 6.5, depending on your category and your seller tier. Again, some of the brands that we work with at the Social Commerce Club have some sort of special tiers. But then you've got your payment processing fees, your promo fees, your ad fees, and we'll get into this in a little bit, right? And even when TikTok funds promotions like $5 off 30, guess what? You still need to hit the price point to maintain that margin, and it adds up fast, which then brings us to ads. And don't worry, I'm going to get to some good news very, very soon. I just want you to understand all of these different costs, okay? So this is where people burn cash without even realizing it. There are 3 main types of TikTok ads that drive traffic to your shop. Number 1 are VSAs. These are video shopping ads. These are brand-made, product-linked videos. They have lower CPMs, but they require killer native style creativity. Now, within VSAs, we also have Spark ads. This is when you whitelist a creator's content for paid promotion. You get great click-through rate, but now you're paying commission plus ad spend. Then we've got live shopping ads. So these boost live creator sessions. Budgets that I generally recommend are between $500 and $1,000 for a 2 to 3 hour session, just to get the live out there. When the alignment's right, conversions can be absolutely incredible on these lives. All of them work, but if you're not tracking costs closely, your margin is gone before the product ships. So what should you be tracking? Well, let's zoom in on a real TikTok shop sales. Imagine you sell a product for $100. Here's how the math might break down. So your cost of goods, so again, on $100, might be $25. That's if you're running a 75% margin. Fulfilled by TikTok would be $3. Platform commission is $5. Creator commission would be $25. Ad spend would be $15 if you're running a $15 CPA. That would make your net margin $27, right? Now, if you used a high performing creator though, right, you might be down to single digits. Now imagine your product sells for $40 instead of $100. The same structure could leave you with legitimately nothing. The scary part, most brands don't even realize that this is happening, right? They scale their best-selling product without understanding their SKU level, return on ad spend, and break even CPA and ROAS, right? You're flying blind. You're only looking at campaign level performance and you're missing where the margin actually lives. And this is, again, guys, I've been a brand owner for many, many years. This is what I am constantly looking at, is where these margins are. So pro tip, let's use things like Google Sheets. Let's use UTM mapping, or let's plug into platforms like Triple Whale, or there's ROASberry. There's a bunch of these different platforms where you can actually track profitability by SKU. There's actually a new one that I'm working with that I think is absolutely great as well, which I will tell you guys about in the future. So stick around for that in the future. This is how you stop scaling unprofitable success. Number one, you have to know your numbers, right? Like if you don't know your numbers, you're not going to be able to scale. Now let's talk about how to protect those margins without stopping growth. There's three main ways to do it. So number one, set clear commission limits, right? Cap creator commissions per product and have two different levels. So have your ads level, right? Commissions. And then on the other side of your ads level commissions, have your organic commissions, right? Your ads commission should be much lower. So that when you actually boost a Spark ad, should be much lower than what you're willing to pay the creators on regular commission. So make sure that you're setting that. Number two, boost your AOV, right? Create bundles, create upsells, use complementary items. TikTok's average AOV is around $20 to $40. So raising yours even slightly has a massive impact. And you'll see that a lot of the supplement brands in the space go with this bundling mentality. And I've seen bundles crush in the $60 level. So don't be scared to go into that sort of average order value. You are going to be profitable. Do not do this if you are not profitable by month 3 to 5, somewhere in there. That's generally what I tell people. Use TikTok funded promos and velocity tactics. TikTok wants you to sell more. So use their flash deals, daily picks, and other promos that they fund, not you. Also understand that velocity drives visibility. If you can move product quickly, even at a lower margin early on, TikTok is going to reward you with a better placement in discovery. Just don't stay in the red forever. It's one of the biggest things that I want to tell you. But hey, there are times when losing margin actually makes sense, right? Here's when it's a smart move. When you have some sort of loss leader to acquire new customers, when you're testing new offers and bundles, when you're moving aging inventory, when you're boosting relevance score, when you're driving rank with early traction on new SKUs. These are all strategic moves, but you've got to go in with your eyes open, because at the end of the day, you're not trying to just generate GMV. You're trying to generate contribution margin, which is what it comes down to and what I'm talking about constantly within my cohorts that I help train and within our agency and within the brands that I've owned over the years. It's all about contribution margin. That is the number that keeps the lights on, the team paid, the business growing. Is TikTok Shop killing your margins? It's a question more brands should be asking themselves, because while GMV looks great, profit often tells a different story, and cash flow tells a completely different story. We've seen what happens when creators, commission, fulfillment, and ad spend start ticking up, right? Margins vanish. Cash flow suffers. And founders are left wondering, how the bleep are we selling more than ever and still not making money? I'm sure you've been there before. But here's the truth. TikTok Shop is not the enemy. It's just unforgiving, right? You're either running it with precision or it's quietly bleeding you. Now that you know the real numbers, where most brands go wrong, the power is in your hands. TikTok Shop can always be the trendsetter. But if you approach it differently than everyone else, you are going to be profitable. Click the link below. Join my newsletter. I talk about this stuff every single week to help you scale your TikTok shop. Otherwise, I will see you in this video.